World Cup is in swing, and we have a way of making our job hard, especially when it comes to tournament format cricket. That is West Indies that I'm talking about. If you watch the game today, we came up against an associate nation who doesn't have as much experience as we do, and we made tough work of us what should have been quite an easy total to overhaul. But that's West Indies nonetheless, right? Hello and welcome to the Top of All Cricket Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Henry, and as usual, we are talking West Indies cricket. Well, I had to don the West Indies shirt today. As you can see, the two stars represented for the two victories that we had in 2012 and 2016. We are on home soil now, so we're trying to add another star to this one. Hopefully I'll get my West Indies jersey updated by that time. So today West Indies took on Papua New Guinea down at Providence. And first things first, I'm guessing West Indies really didn't have a say in the start time, 10:30 in the morning. Come on now. You couldn't possibly expect a good turnout. If the ICC truly wanted to make money down in Guyana, they cannot expect a good turnout at 10:30 in the morning. That is absolutely impossible, right? So I hope the organizers would some way take a look at that and maybe in the future make some adjustments, right? That's the first thing that turned me off when I looked at the fixtures, when I looked at the start times. That was the first thing that turned me off. All right. The game is getting ready to start, and looking at the stands, and it's kind of sparse for a World Cup match. West Indies playing, that should not be. We should be giving our fans the best opportunity to show up to the ground, meaning a really good start time, which, and I think a really good start time would have been the time that the game finished early in the afternoon. Anyways, let's turn our attention to the game. Is it a performance that we would want to be truly happy with? I don't think so. You can't look at it and be like, yeah, I'm really proud of that performance. But what is most important when in the grand scheme of things? What is most important? A win, right? And West Indies, I'm saying this, and I've been saying this for the past couple of months. In order for West Indies to get out of this group, we need to win all 4 games. So for me personally, I don't care how we do it. If we do it ugly, as long as we win. The most important thing is getting to the final. That is the most important thing right now. Getting out of this group, matter of fact. That is the most important thing. If we have to do so doing it ugly, I would much rather have that. Sexy cricket does not always equate to victory. There's tons of times where West Indies have made over 200 runs and teams have come and chased it down with ease. I would much rather us play the ugly way, grind out the victory, and move on. That is what I would much rather. Now, with that being said, I would hope that the Nicholas Purans, the Johnson Charles, the Brandon Kings, the Sharfane Rutherfords, the Rovman Powells would have gotten the bad shots out of their system. That is what I'm hoping. Because there are going to come games where we're going to be faced with more difficult opponents, and we cannot afford those type of shots that were on display today. Papua New Guinea did what they were supposed to do. They came and did what they were supposed to do. They batted. I think they probably got more than they expected. And when they bowled, it was simple. Their method was simple. Wicket to wicket, top of off. Just watch. That's all they did. And our batsmen struggled. Because one, there was no pace on the ball. The pitch was playing a bit low. Ball wasn't coming on. And our batsmen struggled. Brandon King, even though he hit 7 fours, 29 balls for 34. Nicholas Puran, 27 balls for 27 runs. Sherfane Rutherford came out there and scratched. Same thing with Rothman Powell. Johnson Charles didn't even get a start. Foot went nowhere, right? We did not adapt well. The batsmen that we lost today did not adapt well. That total was a simple total. All they had to do was push the ball in the spaces and run. But we seem to want to finish games in the shortest amount of time. And sometimes the pitches, the conditions will not dictate that. The conditions will dictate that you have to operate differently. And we just did not adapt today. And that stuff we have got to, I hope we would have got it out of our system. Sometimes you have to play the percentages. Starting with Johnson Charles, he didn't even look like he wanted to be in the crease, to be honest. What kind of shot was that? What kind of a shot was that? Feet went nowhere, no bat speed, just hand speed, lazy. Nicholas Puran looking to hit every ball out of the ground. Come on. Chasing this total was, all it required was play the percentages. And we probably could have chased that down in the space of 15 overs. And we made it a bit more difficult for ourselves. That is what annoys me. The fact that we made it more difficult for ourselves. All that wasn't required. Once Johnson Charles was out, Nicholas Puran came to the wicket. All they had to do was play the ball around. That's all they had to do. Going to just the required rate was just above 6. What is so difficult with that? Brandon King going above a runner ball. Nicholas Puran going at a runner ball. He had to do nothing else other than that. Simple. If we look on the bowling side of things, I thought Romario Shepherd started really well. I thought Akil Hussain started really well. Good lines, good lengths. I said it before, Alzari Joseph hasn't had the best preparation for this tournament. And it showed, even though he picked up 2 wickets, it showed too many bad balls, too many boundary balls. And that is against a team like Papua New Guinea. No heralded players, just a bunch of guys that's willing to scrap. And he can't get it right. Let's hope he would have gotten it out of his system. But how important was the inclusion of Roston Chase in today's lineup? Bunch of people talking about, oh, Chase doesn't belong nowhere close to West Indies T20 side. What you saw today, what you saw last week against South Africa, is how important he is. Because he did just what was needed. He understood the conditions and he played according to what was required. He played the percentages, took what was on offer, and then when the bad balls came along, he put it in the stands or put it to the boundary. That is all you had to do. So I don't want to hear nobody else talking about, oh, Roston Chase doesn't belong in the West Indies T20 team. The West Indies need a Roston Chase. Someone who is capable of batting. You're talking about someone who has 5 test centuries. That is no easy feat against teams like Pakistan and India. That is no easy feat. So hats off to Roston Chase. Brilliant, brilliant in the way he guided West Indies home. So thankful that the next game starts at night. We can all relax and chill and watch that game. Good on the ICC. But this 10:30 start wasn't it. So let me know down in the comments, what are your thoughts with regards to today's game? How did you think we went? You know, could we have done anything differently? I know how I feel about it. You just heard how I felt about it. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Should we make any changes for the game against Papua New Guinea? I'm Kevin Henry for the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. See you next time.